Hey everybody, welcome back. It is the Fantasy Rugby Yanks. My name's Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Glauser.
Oh man, we got much to cover this week. Thank you, News Cycle. That freaking definitely that contributed to it
a little bit.
Time. And just Twitterverse in general. But you know, that's how it goes.
Well, thank God for the Twitterverse.
Yeah, Twitter keeps you not bored. That's for sure. I mean, I'm not one to aimlessly scroll through social media all the time, but when I do, it makes for entertainment. That's for sure.
It's important to cultivate a good following list.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like, oh man, that makes me so angry, but that person has a good point. And then all of a sudden, you have like Grant Davies with an awesome fucking video.
Yeah.
And some other people with
yeah, for sure. All right, crack them.
Hell yeah.
Check us out where you get your podcasts. Download us, subscribe, rate, review. Definitely a review. Like I said, we always want to know what you guys think. We're always looking for a little feedback here and there. But that's it. And if you don't like us, tell us why.
And send us some happy thoughts, or some thoughts in general. Angry thoughts in general.
Yeah, criticism, not being an asshole. Criticism. There's a difference.
Constructive criticism.
Yes, we're okay with that. I mean, if you're gonna be an asshole, you be an asshole, but it doesn't mean we're gonna respond to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure that you are getting your TRM upgrades for sure. It's good time for it right now. We got one more week of this, and then we are into a different competition, obviously. But yeah, it doesn't mean you can't go get them. And obviously, they're supporting the RPA, so that's obviously a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not supporting support the RPA, support TRM. I don't see any downside about that whatsoever. And you get an upgrade.
Yeah, good shit.
I see zero downside to this. So,
I feel a little bit bad that I had my upgrade
last
before
year,
this,
right?
So I'm not sure we're eligible, but
yeah, just the same,
Good cause, like for everyone else out there, good cause.
We're doing what we can for it, just the same.
Exactly.
Then you obviously want to go check out our buddy, the Fancy Rugby Geek. Buy him a coffee.
Geek.
He's always got some good tips, especially for those of you that may or may not have struggled in some of the leagues that I saw out there.
Does he have a tip for beating me yet?
He hasn't. Well, he doesn't have a tip for beating either of us, at least in standard scoring yet. So we'll see.
No, he did. Well, he beat me last year at something.
Oh, yeah, that's true. There was one
of our FRD leagues.
Yeah, we were, but if I remember right, I think he won once out of like 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah, it was bad. Well, I've already started the new. Well, no, have we both started the new?
I beat him last week, so yeah. Sam Simmons does that to you.
Yeah,
about that.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. So, and we'll get into this. And this will lead us to another subject. Obviously, Black Lives Matter. Racism is wrong, plain and simple. If you don't see it, then you and I got a problem.
Yeah,
simple as that. And then obviously related to this is the news about Pablo Matera. Did not see that coming. I don't know enough about him, obviously, in that case.
Right. And apparently they're, at least from what I've heard, they're, Matera. I think what happened is he's pissed some people off lately.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much, just whatever. Being his own thing. I think people kind of dug into his past and dug it up, which I'm not saying is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying it didn't happen organically.
Yeah, probably not.
And somebody, I think, just dropped the dime on a couple people to get a little bit of personal revenge. Not that doesn't make what Matera said and what his, what Petty and the other guy said
Cicino, yeah.
Right. It's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the whole situation's fucked up. But they're doing the right thing. He seems like a stand-up guy, at least, taking on I'm taking responsibility and I'll take the punishment. Good for him. That's what we need with this whole Black Lives Matter movement.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about being perfect. It's about accountability and becoming better people. And that's not to say he can't become the captain of Argentina again, but there has to be consequences for actions. Mm-hmm. And so he's accepting them. And I as much as, it's wrong what he did previously, 8-9 years ago, him taking accountability for that now and not whining like a little bitch. I have to respect that, because that's how you do it. It's if you react like you're the victim, nothing gets better. You have to take accountability for what's being done that's wrong, especially when it's by you.
I agree. It's all about learning and being willing to change. And that's, you can apologize till the cows come home, but if you're not willing to learn, that's just a whole other subject that continues the problem. So it's really sad. I guess Argentina, are obviously going to catch a little bit of shit for more or less sweeping this under the rug for so long, but hopefully, and they've had a history of it. So hopefully now this is hopefully now this is a way for them to change and go forward. And this is not just some sort of posturing. This is, hopefully this is them saying, all right, we've done this so wrong in the past. Let's get it right now. And with a little bit of luck, hopefully that's what happens. It's just really,
and Argentina took decisive act. Like, we literally woke up to the news as it was breaking. I got the tweet, the first thing I did when I pulled up my phone, and that was the first tweet I saw, and I immediately sent it to you.
Yeah.
You immediately replied. It's like,
I was like, shit. Not good. Not good at all. Well, hopefully he learns and he's able to show people how to be better and how to learn from a situation like this and why it's wrong. As we're on the subject of Twitter, there's been some real asshats, and there's some deep dives that we can go into in a second, but I do want to point out Martin Gillingham. I don't care if I have his name right in this situation because it's a stupid point. Putting Roman Poit on the same table as Barnes and Nigel. And by the way, Nigel Owens, thank you, sir. 100 tests for that man, and all of them deserved. He didn't fuck it up.
He's not yet fucked it up.
But yeah, putting Poit on the same card as Barnes and and they say I'm crazy. Like, Nigel, like, no way. Like,
especially after this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you saw the match, but
as we'll recap later, it was not great. From Roman. But yeah, just the general helmetry, and we talked and the Caterpillar Ruck right now is one of the biggest discussed things. And the best solution I have isn't a solution in making a law; it's reinforcing that use it law from almost the moment it's free. That ball is free.
That's where I'm at. That's exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's as soon as the ball is playable, it should be an automatic use. So like for rucks and scrums, there should be no use it call. Those should just be if the ball's available. So like if you're not moving forward in the scrum or that ball's sitting there at the ruck, it's available. You fucking play it.
Time to use it. Yeah.
You don't. No more use it call. Just the referee if there's any question, ball is available. And that's it. That means you've got a 5 count right from there. Yep. So if you want to set your Caterpillar Ruck and get and work it through and complete it within 5 seconds, God love you. It's not just the box kicks. It's the open play. A scrum half just kind of stand there and looking around, scratching his ass.
No kidding.
Or if he's Ben Youngs, he starts flapping his arms like a bird for no fucking reason. The ball's sitting right there, and he's like looking at the ref and flapping his arms like, "What the fuck?" And it's like, dude, just fucking play the ball.
Shut up, chicken. And then I sent you that article, and I honestly don't remember the BBC guy that it was, but like he wants to get rid of the jackal. Okay, my answer to that is stop running. He wants people to run alone, is what he wants, but that's going to lead to such selfish and self-centered styles of play. Granted, it'll bring some more exuberant personalities, but we have some pretty exuberant personalities. We don't need to reinforce this whole idea where a one-man show can win you a match. To me, it's the ultimate team sport, even more so than football, because in football, everybody's highly specialized. This is what you're doing. Correct.
In rugby, it's you have a prop out there on the wing. You better hope he can run a little bit this phase, because
absolutely,
if you need to use him, he's the guy you're using. Like, oh well.
As Marcus Smith found out that forwards can also do a wings job sometimes too.
Yes.
It's just reinforce better play and better habits from a coaching standpoint. And you talked about this too. Like, if you're running alone, you're going to get poached. No shit. Mm-hmm. Like, that shouldn't change. Why should it change that you were dumb enough to run alone that you get turned over? You absolutely deserve to get turned over if you're going to run away alone.
Yeah.
Like, that's 100% your problem. Like, I don't get that. No way, man.
But I also think that it's not the people are missing the point. I think they're thinking past the problem. So they're looking and they're expecting laws to change the game. And it's not the laws, and it's not the caterpillar rock. It's the frequency of box kicks. Mm-hmm. And the fact that coaches don't attack. So if you look at all the international matches, and I'm fucking sick. Honestly, this has got to change. We have to stop giving coaches this, they're only on the job. This is only their fourth game. I'm sorry, were they never a fucking rugby coach before? Are these rugby players new fucking rugby players? No. These are professional rugby players. These are the best rugby players in the world. Wayne fucking Pivac. You have what used to be the number one overall team. Why? Because they fucking attacked. And now you get them in this whole thing where it's, okay, well, I need to make sure they're executing the system. Okay, so you need to make sure they perfectly execute this forward crash. Take 15 seconds for you to execute another forward crash because you didn't get quick ball that you wanted. And then organize a caterpillar ruck to kick it away perfectly. Once you have to get that exactly fucking right. No, it's bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, it just pisses me off that what do they look, what if I'm a coach and I'm watching like Wales again, because it's Pivac's the new coach. What the fuck do I take away from that? Who's a good player? Who's a bad player? Who's doing what I want them to do? Fuck, they're not doing anything. Mm-hmm. Like that, if you have to do something, like throw that, you look at the way Argentina beat New Zealand, and the fuck do they have what excuse do they have, right?
No,
like,
they're out.
They didn't
even
get to
out,
play,
right?
They just went out and they threw the ball around. What?
They hadn't played since the World Cup.
Exactly. And they go out there and they play some attacking fucking rugby, and they say, you know what, we don't need this forward crash ball. 5 second, 5 to 10 second ruck and then another forward crash ball. We're just going to attack this where the space is. And because there's space, you can see it even in these, the Northern Hemisphere games, the space is there. They're just not using it. And so it's like, what are you doing? How long does it take for you to coach playing to space?
No,
that should be training camp shit. That should be your, putting in your structures shit. That doesn't take that long. It takes a couple of weeks.
No, it doesn't. It generally doesn't.
So the coaching's got to get better. We have to have standards, and it's not just about, there's a lot of, and we see it here in the States, obviously on the lower level, but it's the same idea. Oh, this person was this coach and this team did okay. That must mean he's a good coach. It's like, maybe he's got some good players.
Yeah, sometimes it is that.
Maybe one club folded and all the players went to another club, and suddenly they win a national championship, and suddenly the coach is thought of as decent.
Oh God. Yeah. If you know who we're talking about, you know exactly who we're talking about. If you don't, then you can message Ben or I and ask about it.
But it's like, is he that good at coaching? No.
No, he's not. We all know it. We all know he's not. He wasn't for years until,
right.
Yeah. So exactly. Like, the good coaches out there, the ones that are just fucking mailing it in, or just really getting away with some sort of, just absolute criminal.
And it's one thing at a local level, but this is you're an international coach.
Yeah.
You should have, of a team that has been in the last 16 months, number one overall in the world. Mm-hmm. They should be playing better than this and just playing better rugby. Yeah. So it's not the box kicks that's the problem. It's the fact that they don't coach them to play rugby. They don't coach them to attack.
No,
it's just don't make a mistake. It's play not to lose. It's not play to win.
That's not good rugby in general. Right. That's a terrible philosophy in general. It doesn't matter if it's Pivac or anybody else. That's a terrible philosophy in general. So if that's how you're coaching, international players, like, are you that worried about your job? If you are, then maybe you don't deserve it. And again, I'll go back to my point of, they're new, and yes, they are coaches, but to fire a coach in year one of a 4-year World Cup cycle, is silly. So the likes of Farrell, Peaback, Fozzie, obviously Dave Rennie, although Dave Rennie's not under any pressure whatsoever.
No,
after this year, he's done
quite well.
Beat
New Zealand, he's good.
He's done quite well so far. And Drew on their turf as well.
Right.
So not bad.
He's done his job this year.
So, but yeah, just the same. All those guys are all those coaches. They should get some leash. If you get to year 2 and your team is just looking, they're not. It's not even the losers. They just look terrible. Okay, maybe pull the plug, because you're not going to pull the plug on year 3. If you get to the end of year 2, that's probably the time to do it.
Right.
But not after year 1. Year 1, there's a whole lot of figuring out. And, we're obviously still coming through this weird time of COVID, and did anybody get any off time and all that shit,
Yeah.
So, there's a little bit of wiggle room to go, but definitely coaching overall can go up. And
I will say this about Wayne Peaback. I didn't mean to trash him as much as the whole concept of he's new. Give him, his team can play boring for some reason. It doesn't work that way. His team did play. His team was the better team on the weekend.
So I heard.
So I'm not just talking about him. There's other coaches, Eddie, who do this, who have no excuse whatsoever, because he's been there for long enough that this should not be slowing a game down for no fucking reason. It's not like, that's why I'm saying it's not the box kicks and it's not the caterpillar ruck. It's just deliberate slowing the game down and doing nothing. I mean, I can watch football and watch a game that's deliberately slowed down by the laws or the rules. I don't need to watch that in rugby. I want to watch
3-second break, 3 seconds of action, 10 minutes of break. That's obviously exaggerated, but you get the point. So coaches, we got to do better out there. That's just bottom line. That's it. And
that'll make it attractive to fans again. That's really what it is. That makes it's not only good rugby, it's actually fun to watch and a good spectator sport. Amazing.
No argument out of me this weekend. Okay, international roundup. Obviously, we talked about Wales and England. Anything else to add to that? Obviously, we know Plot has really fucked it good. So,
I don't understand Plot. Bigger gets taken out in the air, and the TMO goes, "Hey, check," and Plot goes, "No, I will not go back and watch." And it's like, but that's not your that's your call, yes, as the referee, to say I won't do it. But there's a time and a place, and on a dangerous play, no. And then the high tackle on
Daly. No, it was Daly.
Daly hit it. I can't remember who Daly hit. Where
was it? Adams, maybe.
It was Adam, and it should have been at least a yellow, and it should have been reviewed in case it was. I couldn't tell if his arm and shoulder, or I'm sorry, his arm kind of rode up from the shoulder to the head, so that wasn't so much. But I think the shoulder made direct contact with the head or neck area, so that could have been a potential red card.
Yep,
and
needs to be looked at.
Right.
Things like that need the potential red cards
and
need looking at. Like, that's pretty basic.
Especially after the first one, where it could have been a potential yellow card, and you don't look at that. Then you back it up, and just awful referee, and just in general awful refereeing. Like not just those two. Those were just the microcosm of the day for Plot. He was just garbage, and it's a shame, because the game deserves better than that. Absolutely. God, he's awful.
Yeah, I can think of one French referee that I can stomach, and it's Garces, and he's not even that good. Like Renal, Plot, Ruiz, they're all awful.
Like, at what point?
Just awful.
Like, of all the things, World Rugby needs to do one more thing, but they need to step in here and be like, and put some fucking sense here. Like, he cannot be an international referee. I don't know how he grades that way at all.
I don't either. I know it's up to the unions to put guys forward, but you can't approve him.
Right.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
He's not even young. He's not even young. That's the thing. You can't even give him the pass. Oh, he's young. No, he's kind of old. So it beats me. Kiwis exercise their demons here and there, just a bit.
Just a little bit. I think they were a little angry.
Yeah, I mean, And and you and I both are in the agreement. Sam Cane's reaction after their loss previously wasn't a good one in the words he chose.
Mhm.
But I think the people he was probably aiming at were, well, guess what? Some of these same fucking helmeted pundits. So
Totally.
I'm sick of them too. So Sam Cane, I'm with you. You just got to choose your words a little bit better, because this was, yeah, you're totally right. Like, these guys need to shut the fuck up. Really. So that's just how it is, yeah, it was bad. But anyway, to the game. All Blacks fixed it and fixed it quite well. They did what they did a lot.
Yeah, and it was thorough butt kicking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Caleb Clark. God.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
It's just impressive to see him. He's incredibly young, but the stage doesn't make him flinch. He's completely unafraid to express himself.
He has not done that, yeah.
And that's kind of, so that's also the thing. So I'd like to what Sam Cane said about, you don't understand. And it's the truth, because again, you don't know what the coaches are telling players and what they want them to do, and how they want them to play. Sometimes they don't let them, as much as fun as it is to watch Caleb Clark express himself, a lot of players are not afforded that luxury. And there's a lot of you can't do this unless you have some sort of gravitas, or there's got to be some like that you have been
granted,
anointed to have.
Yeah.
and then you can do that. And it's like, yeah, if you want one player X to do something, but you don't want player Y to do it, what the fuck? It's the same thing we talked about with Brad Shields. And it's like, Brad Shields can do stuff, but he's being coached not to.
He's been told somewhere along the lines of his Wasp adventure.
Yeah.
To not do what he used to do with the Hurricanes. So that beats me.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's where I took that, that's where I'm going with the Sam Cane thing too.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see Caleb Clark just not afraid, like, fuck you, this is what I'm going to do. And how do you say no? Because all he does is kick ass.
Yeah, he does quite well last time I checked. Like
Will Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Will Jordan knows where the try line is, that's for sure. He's gonna be a piece of that team for a while, I have a feeling.
Yeah,
I think the All Blacks do too.
And also the furor over the yellow card that was not a red.
Mm-hmm.
Last I checked, the time was up. Does it really fucking matter whether it was red or yellow? It's a card. It'll get reviewed. Leave it at that. It doesn't matter. The game's over.
That's really what it comes down to. So just chill out. If World Rugby deems that he needs to be cited, he will be cited. End.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sanzar, whoever makes those decisions in that case, doesn't matter. He'll be cited. Chill the fuck out. Anything from the other two internationals? Probably not. Not much. Huh?
I don't know that I even watched them.
Yeah,
I think I watched. No, I did watch the France. Who they play? Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Italy needs Pellegrini back.
Yeah, it'll be a while.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, let's go to the Prem round 2. So let's play this fun game. Best match of the week. Saints Quins.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to say Saints Quins. I'm looking
close.
Through them now.
Close runner up probably being Friday night.
Yes, only because of the result.
Right,
right. Because of the match.
No.
The last like 5 seconds of that match were pure fucking gold.
No joke.
I'd watch 80 minutes of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Worst match of the weekend was probably the Sunday match.
Oh, that. So there's another thing. Talk about kicking. All that was thump.
Yeah, like, it was a lot of foot to ball on that one.
No putting pressure, but not to do anything, just to kick. They weren't putting pressure on the other team. They weren't trying to force them into making an error. They were just, all right, we'll thump it down. Like, they were literally kicking it almost to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a baseball rundown. It's like, what the fuck, guys? You're not gaining anything, and you're not kicking. Mm-hmm. You're not changing field position. You're not putting any pressure. Like the comments are even like, yeah, the forwards have just stopped at midfield. Like, fuck you guys. So
I feel like that was Friday too.
Oh, maybe that was Friday too.
Yeah. Yeah. But still, just the same. Not wrong either way.
Yeah.
Good to see Irish opening a new home for themselves that they don't have to, and they're in London and they don't have to be schlepped out to,
Right.
the
And with the dubs, good way to
start with
open
that,
it up. Good way to break the seal.
Absolutely. Anything from Kingston Park up in Newcastle other than the Mickey Young to Toby Flood try?
No, I don't think anything from that match was really
just a lot of kick tennis in that game.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. I will say, and you and I both agree that Sale Twitter is a bunch of idiots. They probably want to learn the names of the guys that are scoring the tries on the opposition, especially when they beat them.
Ooh, what'd they say?
They called.
Did they call Toby Flood
Robinson Toby Flood? And they called Toby Flood Adam Radwan. I was like, nope.
No.
Nope. Big old bucket of nope there, kids. So no.
Whatever.
Try again.
Coach's son. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know. Idiot. Northampton and Quins, definitely entertaining. This was, and you said it too, far better from the Saints the last couple of weeks than we even saw post lockdown on the restart. So
yeah,
there's something there for them. They just have to tighten it up.
And well, they got to get through these 3 weeks. This is like they're in the foxhole. Sale, Quins, and Bristol. Fuck. And then right after that, they're going to play
Champions
Bordeaux.
Cup. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think Bordeaux knows what's coming for them. I don't think they have they're not ready for it at all.
They are not. This is going to be an angry Saints team that's just going to take it out on them.
Yeah, the Saints have been. Yeah, they've been good. I mean, they put 23 on Sale. You don't put 23 on Sale.
Not a lot of people do that.
And they put 29 on the Quins, which that happens a lot. But they're letting up 49. But it's not.
Marcus Smith was special in this match. Let's be real about that as well. Okay, exactly. Don't doubt it.
They had a couple of breaks. I should say Quins did that. So shit's not breaking Saints way, unfortunately. But they are playing so much better. It's not a pain to watch them. It was painful to watch Saints at the end of last year.
Oh goodness, was it ever?
This is fun. I mean, even if they're losing, you're going to see something. I mean, they made a Sale match entertaining. So they're good.
What does that tell you? Let's go to King's Home. Gloucester 40 and Wasps 24. Not sure I saw that coming after last week from Gloucester. But does Lloyd
pull the trigger?
Yeah. Does Lloyd Evans belong at 10 for a while?
I can tell you this: Cipriani does not belong at 10 for a while. And I
maybe that's the answer.
It's only that he's not whatever he's doing. It's not working. It's not connecting, and then he's not the first one for that to happen to. No. You look across the way at Lima Sopoaga, one of the best 10s in the world, can't sort it out.
No, he hasn't sorted it out since he got to England.
So it's just not it's not clicking right now, and maybe he's got a little bit more work to do, and maybe he's going to be right now he's a 20-minute player, until he his form improves and his working with his teammates. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, well, Lloyd Evans did quite well. So did Billy Twelvetrees.
A little bit.
Good read on the intercept.
Kind of a day, yeah.
And then the assist on, I believe it was the Simpson. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, turning back the clock, Billy Twelvetrees. Good for him.
How much fun was it to watch Matt Garvey score that?
Oh God. We talk about a giraffe on the loose. That was definitely one right there.
It's the weirdest. So if you've never played before, or even if you have, you can commiserate with the feeling. One of the weirdest feelings in any contact sport is when you expect contact and it doesn't come.
Absolutely.
And you're just like,
makes you make so many bad moves.
Sometimes you're like, oh, I'll relax. And then you get fucking laid out and it sucks.
Yeah, it hurts.
But then sometimes you just walk in for a try like Matt Garvey did. But the look on his face.
Anybody here? No. Anybody?
I don't remember who was in front of him, but whoever was in
Freddie
front,
Clark, I think.
Yeah, Clark was like, get out of, like, I'm in the way. Like, this is a penalty. Go away from me.
Yeah, you just come this way and be done with it.
Just go right there. Just go right there.
Yep. So good on the Gloucestermen. They got it done. Let's go to.
What about we're not going to mention Odogwu just coming onto the game, and
I couldn't. I had mixed feelings about the kid. I know he's super talented, but I feel like this was just him coming into a game that was more or less lost. But he did put 2 over the line, and that's not nothing. So
and they weren't bad tries, and they weren't again. They were garbage time, but it doesn't.
One was a very good line. I will give him that. One was a very good line, so I'll give him that.
So he did well. And then Barbary did well enough that he's already in the England camp.
Oh, man, he just shunts people left and right too. That's the thing. Like he just nopes everybody. Nope, not today. And just it's amazing.
He's fun to watch because he's
kid's not bad.
Got that baby fat on him. And
yes, he does. He's got a little chunker. He's a little chunker.
But he moves like a motherfucker.
Yes, he does. Let's go over to Ashton Gate. Bristol get back on the board against Worcester. It was the Owen Lloyd show. I thought he was going to be with Wales. I was like, why is he here?
Yeah.
And he did. I mean, he shows okay. Why he shows why he's got a Welsh cap now. Yeah. He really does.
Well, I mean, it seems like he didn't score, but he had a try assist. He is leading to points every time he's in the game, even if it's like late in the game. So
yeah,
it's like that Caleb Clark thing. Like if all he does is perform, why would you get in his way?
Exactly.
Let him do his thing.
No, and Pat Lamb's not the type to do it either.
Yeah, and Harry Randall's doing very well without Andy Uren so much. Although Uren did come in late, but
yeah,
it's nice. They've had to lean on Randall. Randall has not had the option to have an off day and
to so take a shit. Yep. No, he's not.
Bedlow's not terrible.
He hasn't been bad. Not at all. On the other side, first of all, Matt Kovacic, I know you're okay, but man, you scared the shit out of me, man.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't
Come on, man. All right. I'm glad he's okay though.
Yeah.
And we talked about the youth in Worcester in their outside backs. Nick David and Tom Howe. Tom Howe obviously was the man of the moment this match. Excellent job from him. But the two of them are both supremely talented. So don't let that ball get to the wing against the Warriors because these kids know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Good on them. But overall, yeah, good performance from Bristol in the grand scheme of things. Piers O'Connor doesn't need any help right now.
No.
We talked about maybe he might need help. He doesn't need any help anymore. He knows what to do with the ball exactly.
Yes, he does.
Good on him.
And that was shit. Who put him? Was that Lloyd that put him away?
I think so.
Yeah, that was a hell of a decision. He had the inside ball to, I think it was Randall at the time, or
could have been, yeah.
Pass it out to Piers and made the right decision. And a decision that it's a hard one because it's so easy to hit your inside center. But he realized that the help was coming from that direction, so he put it on the outside where the help wasn't. Really fucking smart, and Piers was perfect being there.
Yep.
Man, did he have some runs too?
Yep.
On his own.
Some good stuff going on there over there with the Bears for sure.
Always, right?
Yeah, as we anticipated for the season. The late match on Saturday. You said it, and I'll say it again. Exeter have a point to prove.
They're angry.
Yeah, people almost feel like they got and to their credit and their point, people are almost writing off, and they deserved this last year. Don't get me wrong. They're almost writing it off. People are almost writing it off. Oh, well, Saracens weren't competing last year, so they got it by default. And now they're just out to put boots up everybody's ass and say, nah, we got this by absolutely. And they earned it. There's no doubt about that in my mind. They earned this 100%. So, don't even get that wrong. That's not how it is.
Yeah, but they're planting their flag is what they're doing, and you have to respect it because it's them. It is them stepping up and saying they could just be content to be like, yeah, we won, and we're going to just win the same way again this year. They're saying no, we need to prove that last year wasn't a fluke, and actually we didn't even play our best rugby. So
absolutely,
yeah, this is not what I expected from them. They're showing a level of character I did not expect. A Rob Baxter led team that still does the chant they promised they would stop doing.
Yeah, that's Tony Rose. That's Tony Rose's issue.
That one in there.
That's Tony Rose's issue. That's not Rob Baxter's issue. Although he could take take a stand on it, but that's definitely Tony Rowe's issue. I mean, how good was the Tom O'Flaherty try? That is just skill. My goodness. Never mind. I'm not even going to let this touch the ground. I'm just going to tap it forward in midair. I was like, whoa. I didn't think he did that. And then I saw the replay. I was like, he did do that. I was doubting it 100% of the time. I was like, there's no way he did that. That's bullshit.
George Bridgian of him.
Quite. Quite.
But I think Bridge did it off of a pass. This was a kick to a kick, and
absolutely,
that ball is wobbling. It's fucking
well done,
amazing.
Well done, Tom O'Flaherty.
I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to call him a friend of the pod. We appreciate his talents. But he's working his way up the charts on that one.
Yeah, he's quite good. He's quite good. So it was very good stuff from Exeter Chiefs there, out to prove a point, and they just absolutely trounced Bath in their first home match this year. And then we talked a little bit about Irish and Leicester. Leicester just look a shadow of the team they were the week before, and Irish came to play, and this is a home opener. They did not want to lose it, so they opening up their new stadium, they didn't want to go down here. So good on the boys to just get up for it and say no. If we won't win another match this year, at least we won our home opener.
And Leicester didn't. They looked like their last year form here, which they didn't look at all last week. So that's just a weird league so far. Thus far, yeah. Because with everybody's mercurial. Gloucester won. Well, all right. So let's talk about this. Now that we got here. Of the 0-2 teams, Northampton and Bath, which one of them are you more worried about? Bath. Okay. Because Bath have their fly half. They have their halfback pairing. This week they had their front row, essentially. Yeah, they didn't have Stewart. But that shouldn't be it. And I seem to remember somebody calling for a sit of the week, but beyond it worked that, quite well the last time I saw. Beyond that, did you see a blue scrum cap, bright light blue scrum cap on the field? Definitely not. Yeah, he was. Did not see one. I mean, I saw it, but he was not doing a whole lot with it. Right. That's a problem. I mean, that's not so much a problem. It was Exeter shutting him down. But what do you do? They got sat down pretty good for the second time in a row. And I don't think I'm not worried about either of them in terms of relegation. I actually, at this point, wouldn't be surprised if Northampton finished in the top 4. If they keep playing this way, they have a good shot at it. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they are. I would be surprised if they finished outside the top 6, but I would. Fair enough. But I would not be surprised if they finished top 4. I think they're top 6 material this year. Yeah. Bath could be if they get themselves together, but they could finish 8th or 9th fairly easily. Yeah, they got to sort themselves out over the Stuart Hooper, especially after the finish they had last year, which was really surprising to be the way they are. It's hard. Well, it's also it's emotional, right? And they just had that letdown. A lot of teams usually you get the whole off season to get over the moans and the sulks. Sometimes, yeah. But they had 3 or 4 months. Yeah, they had about a month, give or take. It's hard. And geez, Newcastle, do you have a nosebleed up there? Like, are you comfortable up there? Are you scared of heights? Like, what's going on up there? Like, holy shit. Yeah. They're second in the league after 2 weeks isn't saying much, but it's not nothing either. It's not nothing. It's something I think they have likely erased their relegation concerns. Because they'll certainly get a good start on it. Yeah. I just don't see them. Even Leicester looked really good, but really shit. Newcastle have just looked good, and again, you don't just beat Sale. No, at all. Doesn't matter. Even if it's and even if it's at the death, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's nothing. Newcastle were I thought they played better. I thought that was they wanted the death, but I thought they were a better team. That whole match. So I thought they deserved it. So I was happy to see them take it. Not just because I don't like Sale there very much, but right. But yeah, Sale didn't play well. So yeah, I'll give you this. So here are the totals of the last
3 teams. If you consider Leicester the bottom team from last year, not Saracens. Saracens were only the bottom because of penalties.
Right.
Leicester had 29, and they could have got relegated with that total. Newcastle had 31, and then Irish had 22, I believe. And those are the last 3 relegation totals. And
so basically Newcastle has to get to 30 points.
They got to get 30 points to at least have a shot at it.
Right. Then they need 22 in the next 20 matches.
That's
doable.
That's very doable. It's very doable. Yep. And then even going back another year, let's see. Bristol went down with 20. That was bad. They were not good that year. They were very bad that year. That was before they changed to the Bears and they hired Pat Lam and all that shit. So nah.
Yeah.
That was way before that.
Yeah. I mean, they've played 2 of the tough, and they've played 2 tough teams, right? That's the other thing. It's not that just that they have beaten, won 2 matches and to open their season back up in the Prem. They beat 2 top 5 teams last year. Those are losses. These are 8 points that Newcastle should not have. They should be at 1 or 2 maybe. If they're lucky. So to have 8 at this point, they're well ahead of schedule.
Yep. So, hey, good on Dean Richards and the boys. Dean Richards obviously coming back from a little scandal many years ago, but has obviously corrected himself and got a decent looking Newcastle team, and he's encouraging local talent too, which I applaud absolutely. So good on him.
Yeah, they had somebody, I can't remember who it was on the team that they were talking about coming through the academy.
Brocklebank, I think.
Possibly. I thought it was a lock, but it might have been Brocklebank.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a couple of those too. Yeah. Let's go to some start or sit. I'll lead us off, actually. Friday night match, Bristol and Northampton. Bristol have both have found ways to score fantasy-wise. I think this is going to be another similar match. So the one that Northampton just played with Quins. So you'll see many good fantasy options, but let's talk about the guys that maybe people are giving too much credit for or whatever, or not enough credit. So 2 guys, one position only, Ed Holmes and Joe Joyce, cheap, lock only, but both have produced. So if you need that cheap option, and a lot of people look for that cheap option, like where's the cheap option that I can plug in there every once in a while when like Johnny Hill's away, right. This is not these might be the guys. So.
I love seeing Joe Joyce rake in fantasy. I love seeing it happen because he's a hell of a guy and a damn good player. It's just cool to see that what he does translates to fantasy because
especially in TRM, especially in TRM for sure. Brian Byrne, like I said, I mean, there's two good scoring, fairly cheap hookers out there, and Brian Byrne is one of 2. The other one is Barbary. So don't sleep on him.
Available, right? So
no, right now we'll see if Eddie sends him back.
True. We'll
find out. I don't know where you put Owen Lloyd when everybody comes back, but right now you're playing him.
Fullback is a need position right now. It's hard to get point scorers at fullback. So that definitely worth looking at him as somebody who will score points.
Yeah, certainly add him to your FRD line and play him this weekend. On the other side of it, Nathan Hughes is still an absolute paperweight.
Yes,
he's not producing. He didn't produce last week, and I know he's only played 1 game, but he just hasn't changed anything from last season.
Yeah, he's not really running in open space at all. So he's not playing badly. It's just fantasy wise, not worth it.
No, not the value that you're paying for in TRM, especially.
We are now in the
FRD.
We're now in the purely fantasy portion of this. We're not evaluating players for the players.
No. And then Siali Pilatau, again, not great in TRM, but absolutely worth that whack in FRD as a midfielder, as a position that is always just so hard to find a good option for. He's done quite all right. So
especially the 12 position. The 12 position doesn't score as much. I mean, you got your Jimmy Gopperth, but he gets his points from kicking.
Esther Hazen did so well for me this weekend. I wish he had been on the right side of the result, but and he was offloading everywhere. So yeah, so was the Quins were in general, but yeah, he was definitely a big part of it. Talk about 12th. Speaking of a center, Hutch is angry.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's angry, so he's motivated this season. I think it's gonna only benefit those that are looking to use him as a fantasy asset. So go ahead and snag yourself a little Rory Hutchinson and make sure that you don't leave him out of your lineup. Especially if he's starting, obviously.
Right.
Lewis Ludlam, again, returning to form. Something about the World Cup last season definitely threw him off. So, yeah, again, returning to form, looking like his old self. Played super well this weekend.
I had no complaints. I think George had one or two. Two, I think.
2 tries.
two complaints.
2 tries? Yes.
Yeah.
Harry Mallender looks quite good. I don't know where they're going to – another guy I don't know where they're going to stick when everybody else is back, but – while there's space for him, if he's in, play him.
Yeah,
he's good. The set of hands on this kid are very good. I will say that from what I saw.
And in FRD, he'll get point. Did he have a couple conversions or kicks this week?
Yes, he did.
Like he slots in he's their backup 10 at this point. So
right, yeah. Grayson, other side of the coin. James Grayson, whole lot of meh lately. Whole lot of meh. And I know he's played one team that's very good and one team that just absolutely humped him, but he's just been a little bit of not quite what we thought he would be this year. So temper expectations, a maybe and a maybe on both formats. I'm just look for other options if you can.
That's where I'd go.
Hookers not named Mikey Haywood. Stop. Reese Marshall, James Fish, decent players, not good fantasy assets. Move on. And then Tom Collins, for every good thing he does something bad. So just leave him away. Just no, don't do it. Don't even do it. Don't be tempted. I know he looks pretty, but his points don't translate. I promise.
Right. When you need it's when you need him, he won't be there for you. That's terrible. It's personal because he lost me a game last week.
Yeah,
not this past week, the week before. All right, we on to Worcester Bath.
You are
excellent. On Worcester's end, we'll go front to back. The front row, I think Bath are doing okay against front rows. I don't have the sheet up, but I do have it up. What am I saying? Anyway, I'm not sure I'd go with them in FRD. I mean, you can kind of go with them if you want. But Ethan Waller and Alanette, they should both be playing. And
Bath are 4th against front rows in FRD.
Yeah, so you might want to leave them alone in FRD. But for TRM, the hooker and the prop who score, they'll score. Bath are the rest of the forwards. I'm just not. Then maybe not so much the locks, but the loose forwards, especially 8s. Yes, play them. They'll do okay. As far as scrum halfery, where'd I lose? Bath are 9th in FRD and 11th in TRM against scrum halves. So Hugard is an excellent option this week.
Yes, he is.
Someone to look at. As is Billy Searle, because Bath are terrible against fly halves also. 11th in FRD and 7 in TRM. So they're giving up points to fly halves and not even fantastic fly halves. Let's put it that way.
Conan, jeez him.
Right. In the centers, Venter, I'm not sure. If Morris, if he's healthy, I'm not sure what happened to him. But if he's healthy, I'd give him a start in this match. And we mentioned Tom Howe before. Got to be in your lineups because he's just putting up the points. And then in FRD, only Melanie Nanai should do extremely well against Bath, who have been getting crushed by some fullbacks. On the Bath's end, their front row, what is it? Worcester are giving up points to the front rows. Afoa, Dell, Hoskins all scored well, whether they were starting or not. And then hookers have been raking against them. So if Dom Dunn's playing, start him. If what's his name, Walker,
yep,
start him. The Bath locks should score decently in TRM, but not FRD. Be careful with loose forwards in both formats. Worcester are kind of doing pretty decently. It's hard to know which one will score, and Bath aren't really, aside from
Mr. Mercer.
They're not really scoring anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Priestland is probably going to struggle in both formats, except as a kicker. So if you're going to start him in TRM, make him your kicker. I think that's the only way you're going to get too many points from him. And Worcester giving up massive points to midfielders and wings. So Matavesi, Redpath, and McConaughey are excellent options this week. To Glanville, no, sit him. He's been crap. Even if Worcester are giving up points to 15s, I would not have him on my team this week.
Yeah, I tried to roll him out there a couple weeks ago. It didn't work.
It's not working. Yeah.
Oh, Leicester and Exeter. Oh boy. This could be interesting. / embarrassing. All right. So Leicester, there are some spots that you need to look. Henry Liebenberg's probably been their best forward so far. Jasper V's kind of disappeared last week. Liebenberg's been pretty consistent, if nothing else. Harry Potter will come good, and you know the silly name, good player. He's
had a whole bad game though.
Yeah.
Is it time to panic? No, it's not time to panic.
Not quite time to panic. And then Jordan Tafua came back last week, and I'd be willing to bet that their best back row is going to be Tafua, Liebenberg, and Wies.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised to see him in there alongside those other two. And if he's in, play him. Doesn't matter if he's playing 6, 7, 8. He's a good ball carrier, so he'll get it done.
You think so against Exeter?
And I get it. And there's also tackles that we can have. He makes a point. He makes a point too, as well. He's he might muscle one over. You know, Liebenberg's useful in the line out, and I know that's not useful in FRD, but but whatever. That's how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a strong ball carrier as well. So we'll see. This is an other side of the coin. This is the wrong week for their fly halves to get on track. Henry and Benia had a rough week last week, and it's not going to get better.
It's not going to get better.
Yako Tata came crashing back to earth last week. Zippo out of him, just about. And it's not going to get any better because as bad as that midfield is at scoring, Exeter's midfield is at scoring, they're not good. They're pretty good at stopping points too. So there's not a whole lot of points in the midfield this week in this match. And then Dan Cole, way too much money still. 288. He's way too highly owned. He doesn't produce.
Right.
That's 288 that you can go spend on at least one guy and put towards another one as well. So get rid of that. On the other side, Exeter.
Start everyone.
Yeah. There's a guy named Cordero.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, he's pretty good, and he doesn't look dissimilar from his brother. So play him for sure. He scored quite well the last couple of weeks. Sam Skinner is back. He played exceptionally well this past weekend.
He certainly did.
Mm-hmm. Tom Hendrickson. Ian Whitten needs to go away eventually, right?
You'd think.
So you think. Anyway, if Hendrickson plays, you're playing him. Absolutely. He will eventually make Ian Whitten go away. I don't know when, but he will. He'll play. On the other side of the coin, Don Armand is really useful right now, but only in TRM because he's playing as a lock and he's a loose forward in FRD. So that's not super beneficial. So yes, TRM, roll him out there because he's eligible at lock. So go ahead, do your thing. But other than that, nah. Jack Monder's still a whole lot of meh.
Yeah.
Whole lot of meh. Ollie Devoto, same thing. Very meh in TRM. FRD is actually serviceable. So if you, especially in the land of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a good midfielder this week.
Because he'll go for a run. He'll find a space to get.
Yeah, he'll find a gap.
Get loose a little bit. So he'll get you like an easy 3 to 4 points if you're worried just from that, and then.
I think he's got. I think the week before. I think first week he got 7, and last week he got like 12. So
yeah, so he'll get you a decent amount. He'll hover around 10, and that's damn good for a fill-in.
For especially at a mid.
Yeah. All right. Off to the Rico for Wasps Newcastle. This will be a fucking fun.
This will be interesting.
Wasps front row as always, in FRD, not so much in TRM. Until they finally, once they get everybody back and Barbary's their hooker.
Hope so, right?
Then we'll see. Newcastle are giving them up the most points to locks. So I'm going to point towards James Gaskell on this one. Cardle's not scoring that well, but Gaskell's pretty consistent. So I think he's going to get the bump.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bother with whoever's at 8. I think we saw that again last week. It doesn't matter if it's Shields. It looks like they use their 8-man the same way, no matter who it is. And it's not to score fantasy points, unfortunately.
Yeah, Tom Willis came off early. Unfortunately, that didn't help.
He did, but even when he was on, he wasn't, and even his backup didn't really produce much. So it's just that position that they're whatever they're doing with it. Yeah. So, but they're 6s and 7s. Hell yeah, start them everywhere. 9s and 10s, I'd look elsewhere as well. Gopperth is obviously very valuable in FRD as a 10, even though he's in midfield. That said, avoid the other Wasps midfielders. I mean, Le Bourgeois scored a try that he kind of it kind of fell into. Other than that, did jack shit, and you're not going to rely on that.
No, you can't count on that.
And then yes to Bassett and Kibarigi, no to Sopoaga. Any format, the Bassett and Kibarigi will the same kind of thing we were talking about before. They'll get you around 10 points each, and maybe they'll blow up, but they won't get much under that. So very good for FRD. To the visitors, Newcastle, the front row, yes. McGuigan, yes. Logo, maybe. Hard to tell because he played Sale the second week.
Right.
And the same thing for Peterson. Wasps are 11th in both formats against locks, and Peterson is their scoring lock. I think even last week he only got 18, but he was still the highest scoring lock for Newcastle. So I think he's their danger man and their focus at the lock position. And he's a Yank, so fucking sign him. And then the 6, 7, 8 for Newcastle, because Wasps are giving up the most points to Lucy's by a lot.
Yeah.
Mickey Young may score some points in both formats. Somehow Wasps are bad versus 9s also, but sit Brett Connon. And then the centers, the Wasps are vulnerable, but I don't really like Flood or Burrell here, so I'm not gonna know. And
Stevenson, play him.
Yeah.
He's a midfielder playing outside back right now.
Then yeah, that's a good get.
And Penny might be in that same situation. He's a midfielder playing as an outside back at the moment.
Right. And I'm staying away from the rest of their back line.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough at that. All right. The Exiles and the Sale. So let's talk about the Exiles a little bit here. This is going to be obviously a tough one for them because Sale are just a fantasy matchup nightmare. So look at your loose forwards for the most part. Blair Cowan's back and he's still making plenty of tackles. So he's certainly valuable in TRM. Might sneak over for an FRD try. Cool. Matt Rogerson's played consistent the last 2 weeks. I would play him for sure. And Curtis Rona is very quickly becoming one of the most dangerous weapons on this London Irish team. Showed it last week by getting over, but man, he was also busting loose left and right. So he's looking for offloads. He's looking for potential try assists. So that's going to be a big one for them. So I would definitely go ahead and roll him out there in that midfield where, again, it's kind of the land of nether regions and you don't know what you're going to get in that area. So consistent player, if nothing else. On the negative side, Sakopi Kepu is extremely expensive and he has not produced a damn thing. So I would get rid of him as quickly as possible. That is a lot of dead weight right there. Ben Meehan, I'm not so high on him this week. Matter of fact, you can probably drop him. Honestly.
Is he hurt? Didn't he?
He came off injured, so that also might be one more reason to just ditch him. But yeah, don't play him. And Phipps didn't do anything special either. So nope. Ollie Hassel-Collins. This is the wrong matchup for him to get right. He played fairly well the first week. Last week was awful for him. And, a lot of people were like, I need a big week from Hassel-Collins. They're a little inconsistent at this point, and against this team is not the place to look for it. FRD, if you're stuck, TRM, you can definitely get away from him.
Yeah, do something else.
Yep. For the Sharks.
Because they've added another Shark.
Yes, they did. They added another South African. Jesus. Yeah, also a giant of a man at that. Another Dupria.
Yeah.
Because apparently Duprias grow on trees down there.
I guess they do.
This one is a tree. JLDP might see him in the back row again this week. So FRD is a significant thumbs up, and TRM it's serviceable at the very least. Again, another serviceable AJ. If nothing else, he's serviceable. He's usually good though as well. So roll him out there as long as he's starting. Ben Curry has been pretty darn good since the start of the season, and with obviously guys away, he's taking advantage. So play him out there while he's still got an opportunity. On the other side, Faf is just not playing well in general right now. I don't know what's going on in that little tiny Lannister's brain, but he's not playing well, and he's not benefiting anybody in any format right now. He got minus points last week. That's bad. And he didn't get a card at that. So look for other options if you can. Either James brother right now is not a viable option. Well, no.
Usually they're not.
They're not, but they definitely aren't, and they're owned fairly highly. So, they played multiple positions in TRM, and they sound like a sexy option in FRD, but they're not.
They just don't score points.
They're not good. Ben Rensburg, an absolute paperweight in TRM. He's better in FRD. So again, midfielders are hard to come by, and he's not terrible. So if you have him, you're definitely rolling him out there in FRD, but you've got to get away from him in TRM because he's just a paperweight at the moment.
All right, off to Gloucester Quins to end the week. The front row should work just fine in FRD. Valor Pavaruskin and whoever's at hook for TRM, there we go. I still don't like the Gloucester locks just yet. More points, I think, are available elsewhere. Garvey, I do like a lot, but I'm not ready to recommend him because he's mercurial. Same thing with the loose forwards. There's probably going to be one of them that'll go off, but I'm not sure which one, so I'm not going to recommend them. You're going to pick wrong, so just stay away. Go somewhere else. Start Joe Simpson in either format. Fucking duh. Wasps are 9th in points against in both formats, so he's probably going to score. And as we talked about before, only start Evans, not Sips, until Sips proves it. 12 trees, though, you're going to start him for his boot, whether or not Evans starts. He should still be
taking the kicks. Yeah.
Woodward, I'd go with him in FRD only. Thorley is a maybe. It's harsh because that first half was kind of was Drek and raining against Wasps. So Thorley just didn't get I don't think he got many opportunities to express himself.
No,
so it's just unfortunate on his end, but he still I think got to stay in your lineup for the upside. Quinn's front row in FRD. Yup. Only Baldwin though in TRM.
Yes, he's the driving force on that one.
Yeah. Stay away from the Harlequins locks. Gloucester are 1 and 2 in FRD and TRM, so they're
interesting.
Yeah, I would not expect much from Harlequins locks this week.
Certainly not. Certainly, if it's not Levis.
Right. I would expect much from Don Brandt. He's not playing Exeter this week again, so he should be okay.
That helps.
Gloucester haven't played a 9-10 combo like this, an actual 9 and 10 just yet. I mean, Gopperth is, but it's been a while since he's been a regular 10. So
yep.
I'm just not trusting their points against rankings 6-4 and 7-2. So yeah, I would I'd be okay with going with Kerr and Smith because they're gonna put up some points.
Yeah, they put up some points last week.
Yeah, I would not trust their higher rankings, especially in TRM. I would still go with both of those 9-10s. Gloucester have given up points to one center in both matches, so I'm going to go with Esterhuizen.
Yeah, Andre the Giant.
Flip a coin. One of them will have points, the other one won't.
I'm going with him.
Although Marchant might be, if he's at 13, that changes things.
That might change some things for sure.
But if he's at the wing, also changes things in that put him in your lineup because he'll do well from the wing.
Right.
And at a midfield position on your lineup.
Quite good.
But outside of that, yeah, Mike Brown in FRD puts up points.
Yes, he does.
Because he runs, and so he'll get you some points.
Yeah, he's a good attacking fullback, so that helps.
He's not one of those who catches the ball and kicks it right back immediately. He catches it
Mhm.
and says, you know what? I'm going to see if I can run through your defense. And for some reason, that's actually good 15-ery.
It is, right?
Because you're actually attacking. Oh, fucking crazy.
Yeah, absolutely wild idea, right? Of the weeks, my start of the week, the person I am choosing to put the hex on this week, because it seems to be, I've put the kibosh on a couple people so far. Guy's been good no matter what position he plays, and going against a team that's very terrible at the moment in terms of fantasy. My start of the week is Bristol center and wing Piers O'Connor.
Well, fuck, you can't go wrong there. That's a good start no matter who he's playing against. My start of the week is going to be a bit of both. It's a combination of the player doing well and the matchup. First off, can you tell me who has the worst points against as far as wings are concerned? And
In TRM?
Yes, TRM.
Worcester.
And who has the second most points against given up to outside backs in FRD?
That'd be the Worcesters.
Who's a really good outside back for the team that they're playing against?
I'm thinking Scurry McConaughey.
Scurry McConaughey is my start of the week.
Yeah, pretty good one.
He's going to be Scurry McConaughey.
Yeah, I hope he is. I got him in a couple teams, so I could use it. Good old Scurry. My sit of the week. This might be sound like a layup, but it's actually something I actually try to put some thought into. This guy's far. So here's my reasoning for this. This guy is far too highly owned. What's up?
Did it hurt?
Yeah, it definitely hurt. This guy's it hurt my brain a lot. This guy is far too highly owned. I understand he's a cheap option. We talked about good cheap options and bad cheap options. He's the bad one. He doesn't make it worth the investment. His opposition this week, as we've talked, as Ben and I both spoke about, are out to prove a point. And that's the detriment to anybody that has a fantasy asset going against them. My sit of the week is the far too owned and not super useful Harry Wells. He's 12% owned in TRM. It's the same as Genge.
Yeah.
The highest Tiger owned in TRM is Wells and Genge. That baffles me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's just because he's been cheap. So I don't get it either.
Nope.
So I am going. We're right next to each other on this one. So I'm staying in the same match, same team, and same position group in a way. But not nearly as owned. But somebody who should have opened your eyes by now is someone who you may be considering adding to your team, and you should not do that. Not this week. And that's Jasper Reese.
Oh yeah. My start of the week last week, I put the mush on him.
Yeah. Again, for the same reason that I named Mercer, but also the fact that Reese might be somebody who you're looking at for your team as a potential option. Not this week. Just hold off. He's cheap. You can get him later. Not worth it this week.
No, not the week to do it.
But this is the good week, I would say, in especially in FRD. This is a good week to look for him in the waivers after this weekend, because somebody will be pissed about him, not realizing that.
There's a chance of that
he just played Exeter and won't score well.
Yeah, give it some slack, kids. Okay, Champi-Yanks League. Let's have a little rundown of this, because we also got some fun to do with that today too. Oh man,
no longer number one in TRM. Damn.
Yeah, no, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about FRD real quick.
Yeah.
Carrick absolutely trounced me, nearly doubling me. You absolutely housed George. I have not seen a scoreline that lopsided for a while. My goodness. Anton smashed Duncan, and then all whacks this week, all huge hauls this week. Justin put a good number on Mark, and then TRM. There was some movement in TRM, all over the place, really. Our TRM newbie Mark came crashing back down to earth and is now holding up the rest of us, unfortunately. Oh. But George is right in front of is right there, so they'll be sneezing at that. Duncan is
not that far away from Duncan.
Yeah, and Duncan, and then I jumped a couple spots. Thankfully, I had a much better week than I did last week. Anton took the top.
Yeah. Right. It was. I made a few bad decisions. He made some good decisions, and
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll do right there. And then obviously Justin and Carrick round it out. So it'll be interesting. And then this coming week for FRD, it is the Yank and Yank.
Yeah.
Yank and Yanks attorney at law do battle. Duncan is going to go against Justin. Mark and Anton go toe to toe, and then George and Carrick, our other division opponents that Ben and I are alongside. They go at it. George will try to pick up his first win here. And then I have to point this out because I didn't point it out in the last podcast. The Fantasy Rugby Yanks 2, Mall Over Podcast 0.
It's a podcast grudge match.
Yeah, after although American Rugby Pod got the better of one of us this past weekend as well. Warren just nipped you.
Just got me.
God, you couldn't be any closer than that.
Half a point.
Yeah, couldn't be any closer than that, man.
I went to bed Sunday night thinking I'd won. I woke up Monday morning and the scores had changed.
Those stat corrections will get you, man. It's not even stat corrections, just the totals. It's just the totaling up. So it's all to play for still. Plenty of time to go here.
And we have another civil war in that match too, in that league too.
Is it that one or is it our podcast league?
It's our podcast league.
It's the podcast league. Yeah. I've got 2 wins against Yuri as well this year. Sorry, buddy. Okay. We gotta pick the draft order. All
right. Now, just so everybody's aware, we are doing this remotely. Because after Thanksgiving, we're just trying to be a little smart.
Yeah.
I did not. I mean, I went to my mom's. I didn't do anything too stupid, but I'm still gonna make sure that I'm not doing anything stupid and risking Jared because I love him.
Yeah, let's be
so,
real.
Yeah, but I can watch I said that to. Yeah, I texted him saying he's old and I want to protect him. He reminded me that I'm a few years older. Just a few.
That's how it goes.
But we're doing this on Zoom, so I can see everything that's happening there.
Yeah. So I'll show Ben the names and numbers too. So let's go. I believe these are numbers. So let's go with the first one. The first number here. The first pick that we're going to determine is number 5. Yep, that is number 5. 5, and then we need one of those. Who get Vermeulen? You don't get number 1 this time, biatch. Vermeulen got number 1 in the Prem draft. The next pick that we'll go for is Trey, number 3, and then the name. Manager or whatever, and the divisions will be odds and evens again this year as in this comp as well. Duncan gets number 3.
You're number 3 in my book, Dunk.
Oh, here we go. 2 right in front of Duncan.
Oh,
number 2. Right.
Who does number 2 work for?
And that will be Mr. George, the Fantasy Rugby
Geek.
Here we go. All right.
I knew
Anton messaged me thinking he's going to get number 1 here. We'll see.
Oh.
8. All right. So this could be a good or a bad pick, especially with all the depth that's going to be in Champions Cup this year.
True.
Carrick with the last pick of the first, but the first pick of the second.
I gotta say, I enjoyed being in that position. I think that's a place I'd like.
Oh, is that the only position you enjoyed being in?
No.
As long as you can admit it. Number 1. All right, here we go. Here's the number 1 overall pick this week for the Champions Cup here, and it goes to. It is going to my co-host, Mr. Ben Glauser.
Yay!
Ben's going to get number 1. So who are you taking, Vakatawa?
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. We got time to do some digging.
Fuck, do I know?
Number 7, right in front of Carrick. Not a bad spot in that turn. 4-5 is a pain in the neck. That's the biggest one.
But you?
Oh, yeah, this definitely is. It definitely is. Well, it's going to be me anyway. Number 7. And then the next pick. So we got 4 and 6 left. Number 6. So that means number 4 is left. Here we go. Moment of suspense. Mark. And it's Mark. So that means number 4 goes to Anton. Sorry, Anton, not number 1 this time, buddy. Good try on calling your shot, but not quite.
Still coming in behind Justin.
Yeah.
Justin's 5?
Justin is 5.
Oh, okay.
So
he's stuck ahead of him.
Yeah. So the divisions will be, the odds will be Ben, Duncan, Justin, and myself. What the shit? Can I get away from you, please? We're in the same division in one of our other leagues too. This is bullshit.
You love me.
And then the evens will be George, Anton, Mark, and Carrick. Although George and Carrick are in the same division in our Premier League, Premiership League as well. So, yeah, that'll be that. That's going down this Saturday. Ben and I will be doing a live draft podcast as we like to do with these ones. Why? Because they're fun, and that's the point.
Yeah, and they're fun, and I hope that they're informative because you can hear us
screw up or not screw up.
Right. You can learn at least, tactics and it's almost like you're sitting in on a practice draft or something.
Yeah, like a mock draft or something like that.
You can take mental reps. That's the important thing.
Yeah, that's the idea. Okay. Let's do pick 'em, and we will bounce out of this biatch. All right. Let's start with Friday night down at Ashton Gate. No fans for Bristol, unfortunately. Sad to say. But Bristol and Northampton.
Bristol.
Yeah, same.
Bristol are just gonna.
Yeah, I really have. As much as I believe in the Saints, I really have to see it first.
It's not right. It's not that I don't believe in them. It's that they're playing well, but they're not playing well enough to beat top teams. And Bristol are a top team.
Correct. Oh, this will be interesting. Worcester and Bath at Six Ways. Worcester should have fans back. 2,000 of them or so at Six Ways. I'm gonna take the black, white, and blue.
Yeah, I got to go with Bath.
They have to fix it here.
Yeah, they do. This is. I mean, they should have got it. Start off the season all right. But this is where that's got to start. You got to have the wins that you got to have. And Worcester they can't finish. So
no, they do not know how to score tries.
They scored 24 points in 2 games. I mean, not that Bath can really boast about anything more, but at least Bath have played one tough
opposition in one case at least. Speaking of tough opposition, Leicester and Exeter. Exeter, yeah, play the Chiefs. Oh man, this will be interesting. Wasps and Newcastle. Can Newcastle stay unbeaten going up to the Rico? You know what? Wasps did fine at home, so I'll give it to them.
And Wasps are gonna put it on them.
Maybe
I think Newcastle. This is gonna be Newcastle coming back to earth.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And Wasps have a little bit of they should have a chip on their shoulder because they let Gloucester kick them in the ass, so they can't let it happen twice.
Absolutely. London Irish and Sale. I mean, Irish didn't play amazingly, but neither did Sale. But Sale are still a tough defense, and Irish aren't scoring points by the bucket loads by any means whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Sale. Yeah. Ooh, here we go. This will be fun. Gloucester and Quins.
I love the sandwich of this weekend. The way it starts and the way it finishes will be tasty. I think those are going to be the 2 matches of the week. Here, I'm going to go with Quins because you tell me who has the better 10. I don't care who the fuck is playing 10 for Gloucester.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, I'm choosing the team that Marcus Smith's on.
Yeah.
And
end of fucking story.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. International time.
Is Lasike hurt?
He must be. He must be. If he's not even making the team sheet, he must be.
This would be a match that I think I would like to see him start for, because I would love to see for this match a Lasike Esterhuizen and Marchant
Mhm.
11 or what was it 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That would be
Yeah,
especially with
why
Smith.
Northmore is getting run in there. He must be hurt. That's the only reason I can come up with it thus far. If he's not hurt and Northmore's getting time over him,
Yeah,
I got something to say. Because
yeah. So I would really like to see Lasike play in this match. I think that would make it for a fairly easy Harlequins win. Comfortable, I should say, not easy. But I can't pick Gloucester. They're too inconsistent right now.
Yeah, at the moment.
And Quins are just they have Marcus Smith.
Yep.
What the fuck do you want me to say?
I do. Let's go abroad. Australia and Argentina. Argentina are depowered and really reeling probably after that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Aussies.
They can't keep that. The thing is, it's not so much their lack of play time hurts them in the first match. It's the second and third match. You can't keep that level of
it's tough
play up. You're not used to it.
It really is.
And Australia are, they want to also show that, they want to close this with a win.
Absolutely.
And a convincing
win. Georgia and Fiji, we're going to get and it is confirmed or more or less that this is a one-off competition. Teams are starting to confirm fixtures for next year that don't include anybody on this list.
Right.
So I know Scotland have already confirmed South Africa.
Yeah, you kind of figured it was a one-off.
I figured as much too, but people were trying to push it. I was like, nope, gonna be a one-off. Gonna be a one-off. It's an interesting idea. Those fall tests are fun. Those fall tests are fun when the southern hemisphere goes north. Like that had to have that. Let's not change that. Let's not change that whatsoever. So Georgia and Fiji. Fiji are going to be a little balled up after being in lockdown for 2 weeks. So
how many of them can play?
I think most of them are cleared at this point.
Okay.
I think only a few of them got sick. So I'm going to go with the Fijians.
I mean, the Georgians are not putting up a physical fight. And that's
rare from them.
Yes, it is. But they're also not playing with the ball very well.
That's not something they do especially well.
Right. Although their 13 had a fucking fantastic try. Very much a 13 try. So good on him. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name or have remembered it, but it was an impressive try. Fiji's going to take this one.
Yep. Ireland and Scotland. It's in Dublin. And there's no Sexton, there's no Adam Byrne, there's no Joey Carberry.
Yeah, but there's no opposition.
They got the cabbage. They got the head of cabbage on the other side.
Oh, that's so much fun to watch. Oh, it's so fluffy. Oh, I want to watch it win. All right, I'm going with Scotland.
Yeah, I am too, actually.
That's right. We didn't get to talk about that. Oh, I don't know if you've seen a clip of him just running.
Oh, I've seen the running.
It's majestic. It flows when he sprints. It was like it was flow. It was a fro that was flowing behind him on him. Like I didn't quite recognize him because the fro was
behind
back until he stopped and it sprung forward again. I was like, oh, okay, no, it's weird.
Oh
okay.
Shit, that's funny.
Oh man, but yeah, I think I'd like to see him take this match. Both these teams are going to be a little annoyed at the way they've played, but
likely. Wales, Italy, Wales. Yeah. England, France. France have been depowered because of certain top 14 rules, which I was like, if I'm the French Rugby Federation, I am getting my hooks into this freaking league and being like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I don't think if DuPont and Intimac aren't playing in this match, I don't know how France win.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
Yeah. England win ugly. They win ugly.
Jalibert is not.
It'll be ugly.
Jalibert's not bad.
No.
But, no.
No, he's not. He's not Intimac.
But that's also why I'm wondering if they're gonna keep the guys like Barbary up. If they're gonna, if I'm England.
But that's not, and it's been explained to me. That's not Eddie's style. Like he's like, let's trot out some old heads out there and just put an embarrassment out there instead of getting some youth and injecting some pace into the damn game.
This would be a very good game to give Sam Simmons a cap.
Yeah, well, he didn't get called in the camp, unfortunately.
No, he didn't. I'm just saying, like that's what it should be. That's what this should be, because France are good, but they're missing too much. Olivon is a bit like they're it's not just the 9-10. It's
a lot. Yeah,
guys who are ever. And I mean, come on. If you think although between Teddy Thomas and George Ford, who least wants to actually be playing rugby out there?
I know they're just two of the most disinterested players I've ever seen in my life.
So, yeah, there's that to think of. But Thomas actually scored this past week. It was pretty good. But again, it was
Italy, wasn't it?
Was that?
Wasn't against Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to go with England.
Yep. So no separation for us. Maybe we can at least change our record. We went 6-4 the last couple times.
Right. So hope we do better. We'll be different this week.
Definitely. Yeah. There's one more game. There's one more game. Hopefully not just 6 wins this time though. All right. So yeah, we'll be back Saturday with a live draft. That's always a fun one for us. We'll probably have a match on in the background as well for Ben and I to chew on as we go through it. Yeah. fantasyrugbypodcast@gmail.com. Any questions? Download us, rate us, review us, tweet at Ben and I. We'll get started and sit sheet out this weekend, and it's gonna be a blast. And I can't wait to talk about Champions Cup once again. I know it's only 4 weeks, but I'm still looking forward to it. And it's gonna be a batshit crazy competition. That's definitely for sure. So until then, thanks a lot for coming along, and we will talk to you guys next week. Have a good one.
Later.
Cheers.